Okay, I'll get started here. I appreciate y'all coming in today. I do have two separate cases I'm going to be dealing with. If you're trying to be easier than trying to do two separate news conferences, they're two completely separate incidences, but I felt it was important to get this out there at this point in time. Obviously, since what's going on with the Patrick Leola investigation, we've been working on these two cases, as well as that one, pretty much 24/7 since this all happened. The first one, in terms of what happened on March 18th, there was an officer-involved shooting regarding the Kent County Sheriff's Department. I know it's been out there a little bit, but the bottom line, and I will hand out opinions. I have a full opinion, legal opinion for both of these cases that I will share with you, as well as anything that I put up here is going to be shared with you as well, so you can use it. But I am not filing charges against the deputy in that case. Basically, it comes down to it was a mistake. It was a mistake that occurred because they had been dispatched to a car accident approximately 2 o'clock in the morning, hit at a telephone pole. That telephone pole had broken, and you can see it. You may have to take a gander at it because it's in the top right hand of the corner. But the telephone pole had partially broken. But as the Deputy Romer, and his field training officer were sitting there in the car, the pole further broke. Deputy Romer was apparently unaware of this, quite frankly. You can they're sitting there for approximately 20 minutes with nothing going on. All of a sudden the pole starts to fall. His field training officer heard it first, says go, 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 hops out of the car. Deputy Romer really had no idea what was going on. Instead of fleeing and going further away from the pole falling, he goes behind the car thinking possibly shots were fired. The biggest one, and you'll see here in just a minute, I'll play it for you, is that there's 2 shots fired. There's definitely 2 shots fired from the deputy's gun, but you can hear 3 popping noises on the in-car video. So one of those is the pole snapping, if you will. It doesn't come completely down, but it sounds remarkably similar to the shots. I mean, you really can't, they're indistinguishable. What was the shot and which was the pole falling, it's hard to tell. So I'll play that right now to give you an example of why, the justification of why we're not filing charges. This is, like I said, the in-car video. The time is off. It's actually about 2:30 in the morning, but the time is off there. But if you look at the top right hand by the triangle, you can kind of see the telephone pole there. It's kind of hard to see as it falls, but you can hopefully hear it real well. So that's the best video. I don't know if you want to see it again. As I said, this will be on the flash drive for you to play at some other time if you want to. But clearly it was a mistake by the officer. We do have the in-car video. The body camera video was here. I'll just mention this. There's no sound in this. Now, as I said, the deputies had been in there for approximately maybe a half an hour, essentially doing paperwork, waiting for the tow truck to arrive, so it's quiet. Per policy, he muted his body cam video. So the video's there, but there's no sound. I suppose if you want to try and match it up, you probably could, but this is essentially what the Deputy Romer was doing here. You can see him, he exits the vehicle, goes around the back. And as I said, there are 2 shots fired, and if you listen to the first tape, you can hear 3 distinct popping noises. So this was a mistake. He, in his statement, basically said he thought his partner was being shot at. He didn't know why exactly they were getting out of the vehicle, didn't know what was going on, but he heard the popping noises, saw the individual who was in the car running kind of towards his partner, and thought maybe that individual was shooting. There was nobody else out there at that point in time, so that's why he decided to fire 2 rounds at that point in time. I don't know if there's, I guess, I was going to do this. Any questions on this specific incident? I guess I didn't instead have a bunch of them. Any have any questions on this?
Just to be clear, there was a person in the car that the pole would have fallen on.
there was a person that he was down the road. He did flee because I don't know. He was sitting on the side of the grass, so he wasn't in the car that you saw in the accident. He wasn't just sitting there because obviously the car had been damaged. But he was not sitting there. He was down the road. He heard the popping noises too and started to take off because the pole was falling quite clearly, and everybody he and the officer, at least the field training officer, kind of freaked out, thinking that it was going to fall on them. Fortunately, it didn't go all the way down. You can kind of see it just kind of goes further, but it never falls on the road or anything like that, and consumer's power is brought in.
Where did the officers set fire hit?
We don't, nowhere. Cannot see anywhere. You know, as you can see, it's warehouses out there, so there was no sign. We don't know where it went off into the hinterlands. As far as we can tell, maybe it touched high on some warehouses, but we have no idea. Fortunately, nobody was hit.
So the person that was out there that was running toward them, he didn't fire at him?
Well, he was firing at him, but he missed. I mean, he was firing at him, but he clearly missed. Wherever the bullets went, we don't know. But he thought that individual that was running towards his partner was, the one firing gunshots, and so he fired at him, but just simply missed.
And that wasn't the guy that was involved in the accident?
He was the guy. He was waiting for the tow truck too. He was waiting for the tow truck and just sitting on the side of the road, and he heard the pole snapping, and he took off as well.
If I was in that situation as an individual, and I think someone's shooting at me, and I fire back and find out it was just a pole cracking electrical, would I be charged? Would you take it or
depends. I had the same situation. I mean, it kind of goes to the reasonableness of the person's action. It's a mistake. The law allows for a mistake to occur, so it's a reasonable mistake, especially when you hear that popping noise. It sounds like a gunfire. Once again, it all depends on the circumstances. When they're just sitting there and all of a sudden the partner goes, go, 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 if you're just standing there in the car and somebody's walking and you fire off rounds, that's not going to be appropriate. It's kind of taken in context with emergency. You heard his partner kind of yell, go, go, go. Uh-oh, he doesn't know what's happening, and he takes cover behind the vehicle. So I think all that taken into consideration, that's what all these analyses are. It's not just picking out one thing. It's taking a look at everything, the totality of the circumstances. All right?
One more.
Sure.
Grand Rapids police officers charged with accidental discharge not intentionally firing at anybody. In this case, you have intentional firing at somebody. They mistook the circumstances.
Yep.
Can you explain that?
Two different things. That's exactly two different things, because there is, it's not the Grand Rapids officer is a careless discharge. That's essentially losing control of your weapon. That's a specific charge. An intentional discharge is different, but this was intentional. So since there's kind of the justification, if you will, because he thought, given all the facts and circumstances, that somebody was attacking him, that's why the law says he is, justified in firing those shots. So it's similar. I get where the question is, but it's two different circumstances. You got to take it kind of analyze it two different ways.